Most creators on Etsy are stuck playing by Etsy rules. Endless competition, low margins, and customers who often don't even remember your shop's name. The truth is, if Etsy changes its algorithm tomorrow, your sales could vanish overnight. But what if you could break free from all of that? What if you could build your own branded storefront and keep your customers coming back and build a business that's truly yours? Now that's what today's video is all about, because I'm going to show you how creators are scaling their business and building real customer loyalty with EverBee Store. It's a new tool that lets you launch a beautiful custom storefront in a few minutes. As always, if this is your first time on this channel, I'm Yoma. I'm a content creator, entrepreneur and investor, and I talk about business, finance and entrepreneurship on this channel. So if that's something that you're truly interested in, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Please like this video, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, like I always say. And of course, tap the notification bell so you stay up to tune and up to date with all my latest content. Now here's the thing, Etsy is amazing to get started with as an e-commerce person, but the problem is this is not the place where you build a long-term brand. You don't own the customer's relationship, you don't control the experience, and every time someone buys, you're really buying from Etsy. That of course means no repeat customers, no email list, and no real brand identity. The problem of course with e-commerce is that passion usually gets you started, which means that you'll have a few good days when you just get started, you get your friends and family to support you, orders come in, great. But the problem is that without any loyalty, it's very difficult to scale. And this is the problem that majority of the people that are trying to create an e-commerce brand of any sort run into. The stark reality with having any form of e-commerce store, whether it's on eBay, whether it's on Etsy, or whether it's on Shopify, 80 to 90% of these stores actually fail. That means that the odds are stacked up against you. So you need to do whatever you can to survive the wave. And one of the crucial things that statistically has proven to be the case to why people survive is having a strong brand. And this is exactly why I think EverBee does really well with its custom storefront. I'll go a step further. I think EverBee Store changes the game completely. As I mentioned earlier in this video, EverBee Store lets you launch your own custom storefront in just minutes. But what I didn't tell you is that there's no coding, no complicated setup, no typical requirement that would go into setting up a traditional store. That is all taken care of with an EverBee Store. And the advantages of you doing something like this with a platform like Etsy is that you're no longer just a store. All of a sudden, you've become a branded store, and these are the exact stores I mentioned that tends to have the highest survival rates when it comes to setting up anything to do with e-commerce. And with EverBee Store, you can do the following. Build a professional storefront that feels like your business. You can also keep customers coming back with loyalty and brand recognition. You can also capture leads and grow beyond Etsy's ecosystem. And lastly, sell products faster with a streamlined checkout, which makes it so much easier. Checkout processes nowadays are really important for customers. I'll tell you why. And I'll use myself as an example. I'm probably sure you can relate to this as well. If a checkout process is very complicated and isn't streamlined, and you can't have easy access to Google Pay or Apple Pay or PayPal or whatever credit card you want to use, you're just going to walk away from that situation because you simply don't have the time to wait. This is the importance and the imperative need, I guess, of having a streamlined checkout. So this is why this is such a powerful thing that comes along with using EverBee Store. This, in my opinion, is everything that Etsy doesn't give you. Full control and ownership of your business. Okay, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to give you a real example. A jewelry seller I know had an amazing product on Etsy, but was struggling to stand out. She was struggling to stand out because the problem with, if you search things just directly from the Etsy dashboard, everything is just going to look the same. There's a reason why Gucci, Prada, all of these brands are able to sell their products for such a higher price, because they have a brand attached to it. That demonstrates the importance of having a brand attached to whatever you're selling, especially if it's a product. Now furthermore, with EverBee Store, she built her own branded shop, promoted it to her Etsy buyers, and within 2 months, 40% of her sales were coming directly from her storefront. That means no Etsy fees, no competition, and it's yours because it's your brand. If that doesn't demonstrate the importance of having a good brand in place, I don't know what does. I'll give you another example. This is to do with a digital product just to demonstrate how diverse EverBee Store can actually function. A digital product creator who made planners was able to really take advantage of bundling products together, collecting emails, and upsell customers in ways Etsy just doesn't allow them to do by simply setting up an EverBee store. That extra control meant that they were able to double their monthly revenue without actually doubling their work, thanks to EverBee Store once again. To take the conversation further, let's add more meat to the bone by asking, why are creators moving to EverBee Store? The first one is the ability to own the customer relationship through email list, repeat sales, and loyalty. The second point, which I think is the most important one out of all of them, you're able to build a brand. No more blending into Etsy's search list or Etsy's brand. You have your own brand that's dedicated to exactly what you do. And this is how I know the most successful businesses you can think of have managed to create what they've managed to create. I'll give another example, Coca-Cola. It has obviously nothing to do with Etsy, but it has something to do with having a strong brand. I remember one time I was very young and we were looking for Coca-Cola. We saw RC Cola, which probably doesn't exist anymore, but probably delivers the same kind of flavor, if not better. But everybody wanted Coca-Cola because they had a really strong brand. That just demonstrates how important it is to making sure that you build a brand that you remember, that people can recognize whenever they go anywhere, so that you can actually build a business that scales, because without a brand, it's going to be very difficult to scale your venture. The third point on the list is that with EverBee Store, you're able to increase your margins because you're less reliant on Etsy fees and Etsy's algorithm. When you combine all the three things I just mentioned, you're no longer running an Etsy store, you're actually running a fully fledged business that is absolutely scalable. Now, if you fancy getting going with EverBee Store today, it's very easy to sell. Step 1, go to EverBee Store and create your account. Step 2, choose your theme and customize your storefront. Again, this part is really important that you actually get it right, because if you have social media presence or you have another website, for instance, it's very important that the theme you choose actually matches your existing brand, just to make it unified across the board. I'll give an example with me and my social media. If you look at my presence on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, doesn't matter, my website, it's all uniform across the board in terms of how my brand looks. This is one of the key reasons why I've been able to demand the authority, respect, and brand presence that I've managed to create over the last few years. Step 3, you need to add your products directly from your Etsy or upload new ones if you have new products out there. And step 4 is pretty straightforward. Publish and start promoting your brand new store now. In minutes, you've gone from an Etsy seller to a business owner that's ready to scale their brand. How exciting. Creators, if you're serious about turning your Etsy store into a long-term business, it's time to stop renting Etsy space and start owning your own brand. And EverBee Store lets you do exactly that. Check out the top link in my description if you're ready to do just that today. But it's time for me to round up this video. If you found this video helpful, useful, you know exactly what you need to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and more importantly, tap the notification bell. I'm out for now, and I'll see you on the next video, where we are, of course, going to be talking about more business, finance, entrepreneurship, as we always do. Take care now. Bye-bye.